Welcome back. Every Tuesday, we have 3 vendors that change their wares at 10 a.m. Eastern. Those are the Scholarium, the Telvar Merchant in Imperial City, and Filer Ool in Infinite Archive. And every Tuesday, we review those. So let's start in the Scholarium.
My accommodation.
We have Bound Affix Script Force, adds force, a buff increasing critical damage. Bound Affix Script Uncertainty, adds uncertainty, a buff reducing weapon critical damage. Bound Focus Script Immobilize, adds an immobilization effect. And Bound Signature Script Wayfarer's Mastery, adds improved functionality of skill line passives. Let's head over to the Telvar Merchant. We have made our way into the Imperial sewers. Let's check out the Merchant.
This is all according to...
First up, we have Kynarthi's Roost treasure maps. I don't recommend these. They're going to be super cheap at traders. However, Kynarthi's Roost being a starter zone brings us Armor of the Trainee, as well as a chance for the leads for Ancestral High Elf axes, belts, helmets, and staves. For a little while, Kynarthi's Roost maps were a little bit more expensive, but I don't think that's true anymore, and it's still not worth 6,000 Telvar. So, our scripts, Bound Affix Script Enervation, adds Enervation, a debuff reducing critical damage. Bound Focus Script Disease Damage, adds disease damage. And Bound Signature Script Fencer's Parry, adds deflection of next direct damage attack. We have a fragment this week. This is Fragment of Rulaniel. This is part of the Annulment Vibrant Yellow skill style. And the Fragment of Rulaniel comes out of Rulaniel's Fall, the Green Shade public dungeon. Our leads, we have Tonal Resonation Chamber. This is part of the Rorken Steamguard's Mythic and drops in the Rothgar public dungeon Rekindleft. And Torque Strand of Song. This is part of the Torque of Tonal Constancy Mythic and drops out of the group dungeon Blackheart Haven off of the final boss. And then, of course, we have some jewelry this week. We have Snake in the Stars Amulet and Ring and Wizard's Riposte Necklace and Ring. All right, let's head over to Infinite Archive. And our third vendor is Filer Ool.
I had to use magic.
First up, we have Glenumbra treasure maps. I don't recommend these at 2,000 archival fortunes. They're going to be much cheaper at traders. But Glenumbra brings us Bloodthorn's Touch, Hide of the Werewolf, and Weirdtree's Blessing, as well as a chance for leads for the Ancestral Orc bows or chests. Our scripts, we have Bound Affix Script Intellect and Endurance, adds Intellect and Endurance, buffs increasing Magicka and Stamina recovery. Bound Focus Script Poison Damage, adds Poison Damage. And Bound Signature Script Knight's Valor, adds improved use of Bash or Blocking. Our style page is the Kjalnar's Nightmare Mask. This comes out of Unhallowed Grave when the style pages drop, which is about a 4-day window after its initial release. And you have a better chance of getting it if you have the hard mode done. Unhallowed Grave being a DLC, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get that hard mode. I pretty much always recommend the mask. Even though they're 15,000 archival fortunes, the drop rate is horrible. You are relying on RNG over the course of 4 days. I don't know about you, but I don't feel like running the same dungeon 20 times in a 4-day window just hoping to get this. I'd rather just spend the 15,000 archival fortunes personally. Next up, Companion Equipment Heavy Armor. Again, I don't usually recommend these. You're at the mercy of RNG, and the equipment that you get from Infinite Archive is bound. I think 5,000 archival fortunes is a bit steep when you don't know what you're going to get. Next up, Coral Hajmoda Decoy. When you combine 25 of these, which are normally found in Spire of the Crimson Coin, the public dungeon in High Isle, with 25 of the Coral Hajmoda Lures, which are found in Ghost Haven Bay, that's the other public dungeon in High Isle, you get the Coral Hajmoda Pet. These drop relatively well, but at 1,000 archival fortunes, they're not horrible if you only need 1 or 2. All right, our patterns, we have Design Wood Elf Cask Painted. On PCNA, this is only worth about 8 to 15,000 gold. I don't think this one's necessarily worth it. However, we have a gold diagram for the first time in Infinite Archive. This one is listed on PCNA for between 85 and 140,000 gold, but the price reflects that. It is 10,000 archival fortunes, but it is a beauty. So I will probably be getting this, even though it's 10,000 archival fortunes. And then our third one is Formula Vile Delicate. This only runs about 5,000 gold on PCNA, and I don't think it's worth it. I don't think the gold ratio is good here. I would just get it off of a trader if you still need it. All right, Fragment of Aggression. This is part of the skill style Force Shock Wild Burn. The Fragment of Aggression comes from the Westwheel Delve Haldane Lumber Camp. Now remember, these fragments are a guaranteed drop the first time you do these things. Being a delve, even in a DLC, I think this one's pretty easy to get. You just have to run in and kill the boss. Our first book is Larry Dielmo is Sane. This book drops in Infinite Archive. However, the eidetic memory is found in Apocrypha. Our first lead is Petrified Oak Loop. This is part of the Oaken Soul Ring Mythic, and the lead is found in Merkmeyer safe boxes. Our second lead is Twinned Jade Insets. This is part of the Apocryphal Jewelry Station and is a lead from Infinite Archive. If you're having trouble finding these leads, I do find that they typically drop off of these side portals. So if you skip those, that might be your issue. All right, our second book is On Joining the Keepers of the Dead. This one drops in Infinite Archive, but the eidetic memory comes from Telvanni Peninsula. And finally, we have Unreliable Archive Maps. Consume 20 Unreliable Archive Maps to unlock the Peer into the Mirror Maze achievement and the Shattered Mirror Maze face marks. Here are the Shattered Mirror Maze face marks. Now remember, these are a guaranteed drop eventually as you do your dailies. You'll get one collectible fragment per daily, and they will drop in a particular order, so you will eventually get all of them. 3,000 archival fortunes, considering all that, I think is pretty steep. So I would skip this, especially since it takes 20 of them, but it is here if you want it. All right, now we're going to run some Infinite Archive because we also get new gear every Tuesday, and we'll see what that is. I got another lead. Isn't that the one that's today's lead? Hold on. Twin Jade Insets. That's the one that was today, right? Yep. That would be the one. We have run a couple arcs of Infinite Archive, and it looks like we have gear dropping from Alakir Desert. That includes Order of Diagna, Robes of the Withered Hand, and Sword Singer, as well as from the Reach. That includes Radiant Bastion, Void Caller, and Witch Knight's Defiance. That's going to do it for this week. We'll see you in the next one.